And this crash has a lot of you asking about safety on the Selmon Expressway. Think about it. There are no guardrails. A grassy median separates you from oncoming traffic. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is getting answers about whether this deadly wreck has the Expressway Authority considering changes.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's a median, no barrier or anything.
I definitely think they should look into it.
Thursday's deadly crossover accident along the Selmon Expressway has people who ride that stretch of road wondering why, unlike most sections of the highway, there's no guardrail or divider wall protecting them from oncoming traffic.
Yeah, it should be a guardrail there. They've been putting them on everywhere else, so I mean, if it needs it, yes, sir.
Most of the toll road itself has a barrier, but not the South Tampa section between downtown and Gandy Boulevard.
It's a statewide design standard that we're following, yeah.
Sue Charzan, spokesperson for the Expressway Authority, says given the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit along the Selmon Expressway, the fact it's only 2 lanes in each direction, and that it's in such a densely populated area, legally, they don't have to spend money on a guardrail.
The design standards in this part don't call for a median barrier.
Somebody's life. There is no too costly. It's the life of somebody. I think it's, you know what I mean, needs to be done.
Another factor that dictates whether or not a stretch of highway needs a guardrail is how many crossover accidents take place over a period of time.
I have never seen an accident from at that point, so I don't know if a guardrail is going to do much.
In fact, the Expressway Authority says there's only been 1 other crossover incident in the last 4 years, 2 in the last 10, and in neither of those other cases did it lead to a wreck with another vehicle.
And again, because of the accident rate, there hasn't been a need to put anything in there because the accident rate is so low.
Officials say future plans call for widening the same stretch of road to 3 lanes in each direction, at which time a barrier would have to be built. That's not to say this latest accident won't lead them to at least discuss the issue again before that.
We look at it every year. So again, when it's time to revisit this, we'll definitely be looking at that.
Probably a good idea, definitely.
You never know what's going to happen.
What's interesting about this, Courtney, is that based on the information that we received after we started putting this story together, the primary method of preventing cross-median crashes is to design the highway median that is wide enough to give people enough time to recover control, re-enter the highway going in the correct direction. The American Association of State Highway Transportation recommends that barriers in medians be 50 feet wide or narrower. The grass median on the Selmon Expressway, well, they tell me it's at least 24 feet in many sections. As for causes of these types of accidents, most often it's operator error or distracted driving, occasionally a medical problem that causes a driver to lose consciousness or coordination.
And you know, when you hear about this, that's when you realize that there's really not that barrier. Every now and again, I just...
Yeah, I didn't think about it that often, but I don't think I'll be driving that stretch again without looking at that oncoming traffic, thinking about what happened.
And not thinking about, I mean, that family, that child. So awful. You know, we want to go back to that Good Samaritan because we also asked him if he thought that a guardrail could have prevented something like this from happening, and listen to what he had to say.
Maybe it certainly would have, saved the lives of these 3 people, perhaps. They would have hit the center guardrail pretty hard, but it would have saved them from, going completely across the way.
And what he and others did to jump in and try and rescue the family is truly amazing. You're going to hear more about their efforts.
And his perspective, because we can all Monday morning quarterback about whether or not that's needed, but you heard it from him. He was there, he saw what happened.
Jumped in action. Thank you, Eric.